Alright, what is up, you guys? I'm here continuing the WrestleMania reviews with WrestleMania 25. And, this is kind of another one that I see a lot of people either love it or they hate it. Um, I think this is very similar to WrestleMania 28 in the aspect that there's a lot of filler, but there are some good matches in there. So, presentation-wise, really cool stage. Very simple, but sometimes simple is better. I'm a firm believer in less is more. And the Hall of Fame this year, we had Howard Finkel, Coco Beware, the Funk Brothers, Cowboy Bill Watts, the Von Erich family, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, and Stone Cold. So this was very star-studded Hall of Fame. I know a lot of people question Coco Beware, but whatever. Everyone else is fine. So yeah, let's get on to the actual show itself. Before there was a pre-show, we just had a dark match, which was Carlito and Primo versus The Miz and Morrison, a lumberjack match to unify the tag team belts. I miss those belts. They were so cool. Now we get the horrible penny-looking things. So, yeah, that match was good. I was kind of disappointed not to see it on the main card because it was advertised for the actual show. But, you gotta have a dark match, I guess. So, opening up WrestleMania, I love when the Money in the Bank ladder match opens up WrestleMania. It's the perfect way to start off. We had CM Punk, Kofi Kingston, MVP, Shelton Benjamin, Kane, Mark Henry, Finlay, and Christian. Christian's first WrestleMania since 21. So this was a really good Money in the Bank ladder match. I enjoyed this one a lot. Of course, we had the first two-time winner, CM Punk. We didn't have too many crazy high spots in this one, but I still liked it. You had the Shelton Benjamin high spot in the aisleway, but I really, really love this Money in the Bank ladder match. And then the 25 Diva Battle Royal to determine the first ever Miss WrestleMania. And it's not on the DVD, but, before that they had Kid Rock bringing everyone out. It was a pretty long performance from what I know. And, you had Sunny in there, I think you had Molly Holly, and it was just, none of them were barely mentioned. And you had Santina Marella eliminating everyone. Well, not everyone, but being the last woman standing. And yeah, this was just a disaster. The match itself wasn't even good. It was just a way to get all the women on there. Like a lot of these PG era WrestleManias and even WrestleManias before that. So yeah, this was just worthless. Santino Marella, my god. Next up, we had the 3-on-1 handicap elimination match. Roddy Piper, Jimmy Superfly Snuka, and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat with Ric Flair in their corner versus Chris Jericho. Okay, this was alright. I really enjoyed the match that Jericho and Steamboat had at Backlash. I felt like that would have just been cooler to have instead of, this handicap match. I understand it's the 25th anniversary of WrestleMania, so you want to have everyone there, obviously. So, it was good for what it was. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, kudos to him. He can still go. And then we had the Extreme Rules match, Jeff Hardy versus Matt Hardy. I love this match. I grew up with the Hardys. They're one of my favorite tag teams. So this was just so cool. You had Jeff Hardy coming out with the face paint. You had the heel Matt Hardy, which I like heel Matt Hardy. I actually wish Jeff would turn heel. Like his TNA run. But yeah, this was great. It went around 15 minutes. It was a good match. I felt like it didn't really need to be Extreme Rules, but it kind of just added to it. Because I feel like there's enough storytelling and psychology in there where you don't need Extreme Rules yet. But, I wouldn't trade it. It was really good. And then we had JBL versus Rey Mysterio for the Intercontinental Championship. 21 seconds. You know, I am not a fan of JBL, but he is a natural heel. So he comes out, you know, confident, just dissing Rey Mysterio. And it's funny because this is the second time that Rey Mysterio technically, not like retired him, but he, you know, segued him out. So, yeah, 21 seconds, Rey Mysterio came out as the Joker. And, yeah, that was it. You know, you just had your 21-second match, and then JBL screamed, "I quit." Really cool moment. I liked it. You know, I was kind of hoping for a match, but time constraints, yeah, I get it. Next up, we have, I don't know why this was third to last, but we had The Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels. I've heard people say that this is the greatest WrestleMania match of all time. Do I agree? I don't know. It's something you'd have to think about. You know, I love the earlier WrestleManias to death. You know, so I'd like to go back, watch some of the best. In my opinion, the best WrestleMania match of all time is Stone Cold and Bret Hart, WrestleMania 13. If you want to call this a close second, I would not argue that. So, you know, you had just, it's hard to not, because, okay, there's always a debate of whether the cameraman spot added to it or took away from it. I think it added to it, because, you know, a lot of the, whether you like Dave Meltzer or not, you know, it's always the big question, why wasn't this 5 stars? And that was pretty much the reason, was the cameraman botch. I think it added to it. Do I think this is a 5-star match? Probably. I mean, I rate my matches for pay-per-view reviews, like the longer pay-per-view reviews. Would I give this 5 stars? Maybe. I think I probably would, actually. So, you know, I don't know why this was third to last. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's good to see the titles go last, but still. Obviously, they got the main event next year, so phenomenal match. Just perfect. Like, it's perfect in every way. And then we had the triple threat match for the World Heavyweight Championship. Edge, John Cena, and Big Show. You know, this is a good triple threat match. A lot of people shit on this. It did what it had to do. It's nothing spectacular, but it's not like a shit show, you know? It's still good. And you had the great finish with John Cena picking up Big Show with Edge on his back. That was cool. It was a cool moment. It got the crowd pumped. And it had the job of following one of the greatest matches of all time. So obviously, the rest of the night's gonna be hard to follow that. But I thought this was a decent World Heavyweight Championship match. Nothing special, but it did its job. And then finally we had WWE Championship, Triple H versus Randy Orton. This is where the Extreme Rules stipulation should have been. No holds barred, anything goes. You know, you're breaking into Randy Orton's house and chucking him through the window. You're, like, punting his father-in-law, takes out Shane McMahon at No Way Out, kisses Stephanie McMahon while Hunter is handcuffed to the ropes. Just a blood feud. And you have a singles match. Made no sense. You know, it's fine if you don't want to have the main event be a gimmick match, but for this one, it would have added to it. This could have been a great main event. With all the history that them two have, with Evolution. You know, they had history at, you know, Unforgiven, 2004, I think it was. You know, they had a match there. So, I mean, this was a long time coming to have more, because they never did quite have that really good feud after Evolution. You know, obviously they feuded, but it wasn't what it was supposed to be. You know, WrestleMania 21 probably should have been Randy Orton and Triple H, or even the Rumble, you know, something like that. But, yeah, this just, it baffles me what they were thinking. it obviously wasn't any of their decisions, because on the Triple H DVD, he bashes this match. So it probably just sounds like a Vince move, which doesn't surprise me. But, yeah, overall, this was just a disappointment. And just not a great way to end WrestleMania. And I actually would have loved to have seen Randy Orton go over, too. I think he kind of needed that. But anyway, I digress. WrestleMania 25, the silver anniversary. What rating do I give this? This one's a hard one to grade. You know, I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna give it a C plus. It was either that or a B minus. If the main event was really good, this would get much higher. You know, you had the terrible Battle Royal. I felt like the Chris Jericho Handicap match should have just been with him and Steamboat or something like that. And then, of course, the Mickey Rourke bullshit that just was not handled how it was supposed to at all, and that showed. So, you know, you just had a bunch of average matches, and then you had your masterpiece, Taker and Michaels. But other than that, you know, what's the really big highlight here? So I'm going to give this a C+. Not a bad WrestleMania. You know, I can watch this and enjoy it. I actually do want to rewatch it again soon. But, yeah, let me know what you guys think. For now, this has been the DVD Freak. Peace out.